You know the vibes. Welcome back to another episode of the Hoop Genius podcast brought to you by NBA 2K24. It's myself, Mo Mootsie, alongside me as always, the three-time NBA champion, Mr. BJ Armstrong. BJ, what's good, brother?
Mo, you got the best hand. You got the best hand today. You got the best hand. What's going on? You got the fresh cut.
No, I
Thick.
don't. This
Yeah, you got
trim's
the.
expired, bro. I need to get off.
Oh,
It's Eid on Wednesday. It's Eid on Wednesday. Ramadan's coming to an end. Eid Mubarak to my people
Okay.
for Wednesday. But I got to
Okay.
get the fresh cut for Eid. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
I
Okay.
got to pull up. You know what I'm saying? My barber's away right now though, so we're gonna have to navigate that situation. But BJ, one thing I won't be doing is apologizing to anyone.
Oh, wow. What
Unlike
happened?
unlike certain rappers out there in the game right now. This is a basketball podcast, but I just
Oh.
gotta start out by saying,
Mm.
BJ, I knew society had changed when NBA players started teaming up in the offseason and being friends with each other. Da, 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 da. But now we got rappers dissing each other, then apologizing straight away afterwards. It makes me sick. But maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm just an old
Mm.
soul. You're a hip hop connoisseur. What's your take on it?
We don't have enough time. I can't go there. I need time to
Well, there's
digest
no
this.
games on tonight, so we got all the time in the world.
Yeah, we do. But you know what? I need time to call people who are in this business to get the take before I give I need to do my research as I like to do, because I want to know the truth, and I don't care where it comes from, but I need to get to the bottom of this. Now, I haven't seen this before. I don't understand the situation, but it was brought to my attention just about a couple hours ago.
What do you mean? I sent it to you yesterday.
Yeah, but
How
it
are you
was
not
just brought
checking
to
in my
my attention.
messages? How are you not reading my
I,
messages? Come on, BJ.
but it was just brought to my attention where I was like, "What? What happened?" And so I need a little time.
Mm.
And as you know, I mean, like I said, this is a new era, so I don't know. I need to find out what's going on. But let me take a deep dive and then talk to
Okay.
I'll talk to the pros in that business. I'm
Okay.
not a
Okay.
professional. I'm just a,
I know you
I'm
got
just a,
bars. Well, for those
yeah,
of you wondering
yeah.
what we're talking about, J. Cole and Drake did a few songs together. They did a little collaboration, and Kendrick Lamar didn't like the way they were talking, so he made a record dissing both guys. J. Cole then responded with a few jabs at Kendrick, and then went on stage at his own festival in front of all of his hardcore fans in his hometown and said, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to diss him." And it was just the most pathetic thing I've seen. And I get I'm supposed to be a
Oh,
grown
and
up. I'm
what?
supposed to be
Yeah.
mature and be like, no, yeah, he said it wasn't sitting right with his soul, blah, blah, blah. No, this is the rap game. And if you want to have all these bars, because now I can't go listen to a J. Cole song where he's talking about being the best rapper in the world and he'll kill anyone who tries to disrespect him. No, all of your raps are now invalid. Every single rap where you have said you're the best, every single line where you've said that you will destroy any other MC, all invalidated because you're on a stage. Apology. This is the rap game. And friends in this. Anyway, I digress. BJ, it's the NBA season. Let's talk about the
Well,
NBA.
it's what I'm saying. Well, okay, I will say this. I want to understand before I give my opinion. Not that my opinion matters, but before I want to like talk to people in the business to get to try to get the context of what really happened here. Because in the business, being a lyricist, there's things that are said and get taken out of context and whatever the understanding may be. So I want to check in with the true professionals and get their take on it. And then I'll have a view. But
Okay. Okay.
as of right now, I want to just kind of listen, take it in, and then go from there. I don't want to have something because I don't truly understand what really happened there. But I need to get to the bottom of it, because
Mm,
clearly you have a view on it,
mm.
and I don't know really how to think about it right now. But I will. Give me a couple hours.
All I know is if someone disrespects me, And I'm a rapper. There's only 2 ways we're going to handle it, and none of them involve an apology. Anyway, speaking of right now, the NBA standings. The NBA standings. Don't let me go into my MC bag. The NBA standings right now are all types of close in all types of different places. And with no games on tonight, I thought it's a good chance for us to look at these standings and try and predict, because obviously everything's unpredictable this time of the year, but try and predict a few things that might occur. The first one I want to look at is the race for the 1 seed in the West. There's currently 3 teams in vying for it. The Timberwolves and the Nuggets, both 54 and 24, and the Thunder are 1 game behind, 53 and 25. And when you look at the upcoming fixtures, most teams have about 4 games left. The Timberwolves are going to play the Wizards, the Hawks, the Suns, and this Thursday, a key matchup, the Denver Nuggets. And the Denver Nuggets are going to play the Jazz, the Spurs, the Grizzlies, which should be 3 easy wins for them, and the Timberwolves on Thursday. Whereas the OKC Thunder have got to go and face the Kings, the Spurs, the Bucks, and the Mavericks, which is a little bit harder than the schedules for those 2. So the way I'm looking at it, and just off my opinion right now, it's really it could come down to who wins Thursday night's matchup. BJ, what are you seeing from this matchup with the Timberwolves and the Nuggets on Thursday night, and what could potentially be deciding who gets home court advantage throughout the Western Conference playoffs?
Well, I think at this stage, you just want to finish out strong. And maybe it's just me. I don't think Denver really cares who they play. Now, I think it matters who Minnesota plays, but
I don't think they care who they play, but I think they would like to have home court.
I don't think Denver cares. Now, do I think they respect home court? Yes, but you have Jokic. It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
He's the X factor. I mean, that doesn't matter. I think Minnesota, it matters. I think Minnesota has to look for every advantage coming into the playoffs this year, because they can't have a first round exit. They can't have a first round exit.
Do you think it's likely? Do you look at any of the teams in the play-in and think that they're going to take down the Timberwolves across 7 games? Right now, it's the Warriors, Lakers, Kings, and Pelicans, and we'll get into that lower down standings in a sec.
Listen, I think Minnesota has the first seed. If they played the Pelicans, Sacramento, the Lakers, and Golden State, I don't think anyone's going to feel that's an easy series. I could see about half and half, depending on where you're at or depending on your thoughts. You could easily, if you said the Lakers, well, especially in California, if you said the Lakers and Minnesota, 1 and 8 seed, well, Laker Nation is going to pick the Lakers. The
ESPN will pick the Lakers.
Yes, so that's what I'm saying. So
I don't care what ESPN picks.
I think it will be split down the middle. Now, I think Minnesota needs all the help they can get. Like, they need those 4 games at home. They need, because, I just watched them the other day. I mean, they're just not, that's just funny watching this Western Conference. Other than Denver, I just don't feel that there's like an advantage. Like, okay, OKC's playing the Clippers. Who's got an advantage there? The Dallas Mavericks, they could beat anyone.
Yeah. So the beauty of the standings this year and how close they are is you don't get teams that are tactically playing games in order to draw a certain matchup. We've seen in previous years, teams rest their guys on the final day of the season because they want a certain matchup because it's more favorable to them. But now you don't know if Denver is finishing 1 or 2. So you've just got to go out and win. So that's the top of the conference, right? And then you've got the Clippers and the Mavericks, who they could flip, and the Mavericks could finish 4th or they could finish 5th.
Who you got in that series, Mo?
That's going to be a first-round series. I'm going with the Mavericks. When you just get a hunch, and this is not even an analysis, this is just a hunch. The Mavericks have got something right now. The way that they played the other night, and I saw Luka Doncic diving for loose balls, playing defense, I was thinking, if this is how he's going to play in the playoffs, that whole series comes down to this. Who's going to be the best player? Is it going to be Kawhi Leonard, or is it going to be Luka Doncic? And that, to me, will be the deciding factor in the series. However, when they played previously, in my opinion, in the playoffs, Luka Doncic was the best player in the series. The Clippers just had a better team. This time around, the Mavericks have a better team around Luka. That's why I'm inclined to rock with the Slovenian. Who have you got in that series?
Well, I think those two will if everyone is healthy, I think those two will kind of X each other out. As far as, one will have 38 and the other one will have 42.
Well, but you say if they're healthy, Kawhi's been missing games with knee inflammation. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's always health. If they're healthy, if Kawhi's not playing, it's clear who you pick. If everyone is healthy, everyone, I think it comes down who's going to be the number 2 guy. Who's going to be most consistent between Paul George and Kyrie Irving? Right now, I want to say this. Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic are the best backcourt in the NBA. They're the best backcourt right now. Right now, those two are playing at an extremely high level. And the most impressive thing about them is they figured out now how to play with each other. And Coach Kidd has figured out how to keep one of them on the floor for a full 48 minutes. He's figured out their rotations. Those guys have figured out how to play with them. They figured out the correct spacing, the rotations. They've kind of figured it out now. Kyrie Irving right now, Kyrie had 47 or 48 points last night? Something like that when I watched.
Against the Houston Rockets.
Yes, the Houston
Rockets. 48,
Rockets.
That's right. And Luka had 37, 12, and 9.
Okay. That's your backcourt. Bo, that's your backcourt.
Well, I'm not expecting big numbers from their front court, though. They're going to have to do that.
But Gafford and those guys are very capable.
Yeah, but they don't run plays for them. They don't create their own shots. They eat off what Luka and Kyrie are doing.
But that's my point. Now, those guys are capable of having 10, 12, 14 points, along with those 30-point efforts, 30, 35, 40. Last night, the guy had 48 points, right? So I think this is a very dangerous team. And to answer your question is, okay, if everyone's healthy, I think it comes down to the number 2 guy, Paul George and Kyrie Irving. I think that's what it comes down to. Now, Norm Powell, Russell Westbrook, James Harden, that's going to be tough.
I also think the biggest advantage for the Clippers here, well, I say advantage, I want to see how Ty Lue comes up with a scheme to guard Luka Doncic. Because when they played previously, when Doc Rivers was the coach, he was trying to switch and have Zubac get cooked over and over and over again on the perimeter by Luka. I want to see what Ty Lue comes up with to counteract that.
Okay, so here's the formula for all great players. You can't allow a great player to be great. If you allow him to be great, he's going to be great. That's why he's a great player. So the formula for any great player, now we're talking about Luka, is you got to cut the snake off at its head. You got to cut him off. Luka comes off, we have to double him. If he makes a shot over the double team, great shot. Luka comes off, we have to double team, force him to make the correct pass.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you defend a great player.
And now you're trying to guard 3-on-4 against Kyrie Irving with the basketball, and that, my friend, you're in for a long night.
Okay, well, you can double team him. You still can double him. You can double him too.
You're running out of defenders real quick because you've got 4 defenders guarding 2 guys, and then you've got 1 guy covering 3 options.
But this isn't 3-on-3 basketball. These are great players, and when you have great players, you have to give them, like, if you allow them to be great, they're going to be great. No one can guard Kyrie Irving one-on-one, just like no one can guard any of these players one-on-one. However, what you can do is you can force them to make the correct play. You can force them. Like, all right, Luka may not be hot that night. Maybe he has an off night.
I don't remember the last time I seen that. But
Things
for
happen.
reference, the Clippers have won the last 2 matchups between these teams. The Mavericks won the first one of the year, and the Clippers won 2 straight. However, the Mavericks now are a very different looking team. But we're going to dive into that once the playoff bracket is set. Looking at the rest of the West, You got the Suns who are on 46 and 32, the Pelicans who are 46 and 32 in the 6 and 7 seeds. And then you've got the Kings and the Lakers, both of whom could climb up to that 6th seed and guarantee their playoff spot. Now, what's interesting, the Suns have a home and away with the Clippers, so they've got 2 matchups back to back. And then they've got to play the Kings, which could be a crucial game in terms of who gets that 6th seed. And then they finish their season off with the Timberwolves. The Suns have got a very tough end to the season. The Pelicans, meanwhile, who have been disappointing recently, have a easier schedule with the Trailblazers, then a tough one with the Kings, then the Warriors, who I think are going to maybe be guaranteed that 10th spot, so they might want to rest their guys just for a couple games at the end of the season to be fresh for the playoffs. But then the final game of the season against the Los Angeles Lakers in what could make all the difference in that matchup. The Kings have got to face the Thunder, the Pelicans, the Suns, and the Trailblazers. And the Lakers have got to go up against they've only got 3 games left now. They've got to go up against the Warriors on Tuesday night, which is going to be must-see TV, the Grizzlies, and the Pelicans. So it's going to be tight. And so how do you see those 4 teams shaking out? Who do you think gets that guaranteed playoff spot?
In the Western Conference?
Yeah. Suns and Pelicans are tied, but the Suns have the tiebreaker. Kings are 1 game behind, and the Lakers are 1.5 games behind.
I'm going to say this. I really thought Sacramento was ready to take a jump this year.
Based on what?
And based on what they did just a year ago.
But they didn't really add anything to their team to help them take that jump, whereas everyone else around the conference got better.
Well, I thought they were ready to take a jump internally with the players that they had.
Okay, that's fair enough.
I thought they were ready to take a jump. And because they had made such a significant leap the year before. I mean, they went from a non-playoff team, they get to the playoffs. They have the home court advantage, I believe, in the playoffs. And then I was like, well, okay, now they know what it's like now. The kid, Keegan Murray's
It's been a revelation.
Improve, right? He's going to improve.
He has improved, to be fair, but now Malik Monk is out with an injury, and he might not play for them again if he hits free agency this summer. So it looks like the future is not very bright in terms of lighting the beam on many more occasions.
Yeah, I just thought this team was ready. However, they haven't. They're in the 8th seed. So if you're asking me today, I would say, I said this a couple of weeks ago about New Orleans. I don't know what to think of New Orleans. I want to like this team, but something here just doesn't sit with
4
me.
and
So
6 in the last 10.
So I'm just going to say the Lakers and Golden State, if you were asking me today. But
make out the play-in, but who makes the 6th seed? Do you think the Suns hold on to it?
I think the Suns. They should hold on to it.
You think they've got to play the Clippers twice, the Kings and the Timberwolves? How many wins did they get out of those 4 games?
The Clipper, you talking about Phoenix?
Yeah.
I don't know. Out of those next 6, what they go 3? They go 3
next
and 3?
4 games. It's 4 games.
Clippers, they go 2
Clippers
and 2.
At home, Clippers on the road, Kings.
Yeah, they go.
And then Timberwolves.
Yeah, they go 2 and 2.
2 and 2, right? And so the Pelicans have got to face the Trailblazers, which should be a win, right? So we can mark that down as 1 win. And then they play the Kings, the Warriors, and the Lakers. Do you think that they can win 2 of those games, which will leapfrog them in the standings above Phoenix and get them the 6th seed?
I mean, New Orleans is capable. I mean, this New Orleans team is a team that they're 46 and 32. I'm looking at the record. For them, I think they're underachieving for this team. I expect more, but maybe I just think they're better. But for whatever reason, something won't allow them to reach their full potential. For whatever the reason may be. The one thing that's consistent is health. This team just hasn't been healthy. It seemed like they always have 1 or 2 guys out. I don't know what as far as how many games have they started their full guys this year. I probably no more than 30 games or so than all the guys have, been together. But like I said, I don't have the confidence that I would like to have in New Orleans. They just have been a very inconsistent group for whatever the reason may be, but they're a team that just hasn't been able to get over the hump all year for whatever reason that you can throw out there. But you like their talent, so you can't overlook that.
Mm-hmm. Over in the Eastern Conference, the Celtics ran away with the 1 seed. They're on 62 wins currently. But then your Milwaukee Bucks are in second place with only a 1-game advantage over the Magic and the Knicks, and a 1.5-game advantage over the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Bucks, to close out the season, have got to face the Celtics, the Magic, the Thunder, and then the Magic again. And those 2 games against the Magic, we talked about this the other day, are going to be crucial. Now, the game against Celtics, the injury report, Giannis is questionable. Patrick Beverley and Chris Middleton are probable to play, but that could be a tough one. And then those 2 games against the Magic could very well determine who finishes second, because the Magic have got to face the Rockets, who are now out of contention for the play-in. They've got 2 games against the Bucks, and they face the red-hot 76ers, who are on a 5-game win streak. And then the Knicks are closing out the season with the Bulls, the Celtics, the Nets, and the Bulls, which you would expect them to go 3-1 over that stretch. So if the Magic go 2-2 and the Bucks go 2-2, then the Knicks could finish with the second seed. And then, of course, you've got the Cleveland Cavaliers, who have got the Grizzlies, the Pacers, and the Hornets, and you expect them to finish at least 2-1 or 3-0 if they're going to be serious about contending. Then below them, you've got the Pacers, who've got to play the Raptors, the Cavs, and the Hawks, which again, you expect 2-1, but the Hawks have been playing very nicely. But Trae Young is now, I believe, back, so we'll see how that mixes things up. But the Eastern Conference right there, from seeds 2 till 6, it's kind of a mismatch of everybody. And then you've got the 76ers, who have won their last 5 with Joel Embiid back, who could climb up to that guaranteed spot because they're playing against your Pistons, then the Magic, and then the Nets. You expect them to go 2-1. So they could leapfrog the Indiana Pacers. And then the Heat are in 8th, where they've got to take on the Hawks, the Mavericks, the Raptors, and then the Raptors. So I'm expecting at least 2-2 from the Miami Heat. And then the Bulls and the Hawks, we ain't got to worry about them because they'll probably finish where they're at. But how do you see the shaking out? Do you think the Bucks hold on to the second seed in the Eastern Conference?
Well, I don't think it really matters for the Bucks. Right now, the Bucks have to figure out who they really are. Whether they
But I
finish
think
second.
I think it does matter, right? Because finishing with the third seed, you could face Joel Embiid and the 76ers in the first round. Finishing with the second seed, you could face, well, depending on how the playing goes, the Heat, maybe the Sixers, maybe the Pacers, maybe the Bulls or the Hawks if they get hot in the playing games. So if the Sixers keep winning and playing like they have, you'd really want to lock up that second seed.
Again, this team, I have this team as a championship caliber team. Unlike at the start of the season, I penciled them in as a championship caliber team.
But now, after going 3-7 in the last 10, losing 4 straight.
As is now, like I said, I don't really think it matters because they don't know who they are right now. Whether they're the second seed, the third seed, they're losing mode at an alarming clip for a championship caliber team. So right now, it doesn't matter if they play Giannis, if they play Indiana, if they play Miami. That's a problem. If they play Cleveland, those are problems for them. Right now, the Toronto Raptors, that's a problem for them. This is a group right now that has an identity crisis that no one knows who they are, right? Are they a defensive team? No. Are they an offensive team? No. Are they a fast break team? No. Do they play, they shoot 5-out offense? No. Like right now, they don't have an identity. Are they in drop coverage? Do they switch? What's their identity? The only mainstay, if you will, that gives this team any type of hope at the moment is they have Giannis. Everything else, Mo, I don't know what to expect. I don't know what to expect from this group. I don't know what type of effort you're going to get from this group.
Well,
and
this is the important part about being a second seed because you avoid the Celtics till the conference finals.
Again, This isn't the Minnesota Timberwolves. This isn't the Oklahoma City Thunder. This is a team was put together with a championship.
So are you more confident in Milwaukee winning their first round matchup than you are in the Timberwolves or Thunder winning their first round matchup?
That's what I don't know.
Because I'm way more confident in the Western teams winning in the first round than I am in the Milwaukee Bucks right now.
I don't know what to think. I don't know what to think with Minnesota. This year, Minnesota could have the number 1 seed, and then they play the 8 seed and play the Lakers or somebody. And to me, it'll be split. It'll be like, our good friends over at TNT. They'll, Charles and these guys, maybe split who they think is going to win. And I don't think it's far-fetched to think right now, with the exception of the Boston Celtics and the Denver Nuggets, I don't see anyone else that I'm confident saying I think those two teams will probably more than likely get out of the first round. Everyone else, I think it's up in the air. Like I'm not ready to say anyone's, like, go down the list, Mo. Like, who do you feel confident it's just going to get out of the first round?
It depends on the matchups, but you're right. The Celtics and the Nuggets. The more I think about the Sixers, and if Embiid stays healthy, I like them causing an upset in the first round.
It's an upset. It's Joel Embiid. That's not an upset.
Yeah, but I like. Okay, I'll rephrase it. I like them winning their first round matchup.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. He doesn't get hurt. I certainly think they're second or third in the.
As long as they don't finish 8th and face the Celtics.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's what I'm saying. If the Celtics and face the Sixers face your Celtics in the first round, then that's a problem.
No, it's not.
Okay. Okay.
I have a good friend from the Dominican Republic who will handle that problem for us.
Okay.
His name is Uncle Al Horford.
Okay. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying, okay. All right. I'm just saying that's a problem. They should at least get 2 wins out of that. And then anything goes. Joel Embiid is capable. And here's the thing. We've said this all year, so let's be consistent. We don't know what Porzingis is going to do in the playoffs. Now, we don't know. How many times can Al go down in the well? Like, I don't know when this
I think this about the Celtics, right? If you want me to be honest, right, and not just be talking as a fan. The Celtics and their 3-point shooting, if their 3-point shot's not falling on 3 games in a series, that's a big risk to go into a game 7, because like we saw against Miami, Jason Tatum turns his ankle at the start and you've lost game 7. That's it. That's a game I don't like playing. In 3-point shooting variants. I don't like playing 3-point shooting variants because it's the NBA playoffs.
I don't want to play. I always tell you this. Who has the best player in the series more than likely will probably win. Joel Embiid is very capable of being the best player in a series. Okay. And that's saying a lot, because Jason Tatum has been that player. And if it's not Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown is very capable.
What I will say to that is the last time they played a series was just last year, and it went to a game 7 in which Embiid scored 15 points and Tatum scored 51 points.
I don't have a problem with, what I feel about Jason Tatum. So again, I'm just saying now, I'm not as confident with any team or any matchup other than those 2. And if the Celtics are playing the Sixers in round 1, that's like, wow. I mean, that's like, I don't like that matchup. I don't, but if you're going to be a champion, you got to beat everybody. So, but that's a tough matchup.
It is. And what a reward for having such a great regular season that you can
the
Sixers or the Heat in the first round. You may as well have just finished 3rd and played the Pacers. Like, imagine that, right?
I agree.
It is what it is. It's also crazy to me that the second place team right now in the East, the Bucks, have 47 wins. If they're in the West, they'd be the 6th seed.
Yeah, I agree.
It's crazy to me.
But
It's crazy to me. Like the play-in teams, the Lakers have 45 wins. That would be good enough for 6th place in the Eastern Conference and have a guaranteed spot. So it's going to be interesting to me. That's that. We continue. 3 or 4 games left for each team. Let's see who finishes strong. And then the playoffs are going to be here.
I feel like right now you're a little nervous. I think I might have.
Should
You
I
are a
tell
little
you-
nervous
Should
right
I
now.
tell you? Should I tell you how I really feel, BJ?
Yeah, whenever you like.
Should I tell you how I really feel? We're 1 week away from the play-in. We're 2 weeks
Okay.
away from the playoffs,
Okay.
which means we're 2 months away from the NBA Finals,
Okay.
which means I am 2.5 months away from being able to sleep before the sun comes up in the morning. And I'm very excited for that. That's how I really feel, because I'm going to bed and the sun is up, the birds are singing, and I'm losing my mind over here. So
And then, well, you're coming to the NBA Finals.
I hope so. I hope
Yeah.
so. I mean, I'm waiting for an invitation from someone. I'll be there though. I'll be there. I mean, I should be there. So we'll see. And also, if by some miracle the Celtics do win, you might never see me. I might just be too busy celebrating and get carried away. Who
Well,
knows? Who knows?
with the exception of the Sixers, that's the only one. That's the only one that I'm really concerned about for your Celtics.
Yeah.
If that gives you any,
What about Miami?
but
Because everyone has this thing like Miami's going to turn it on, and Jimmy
I'm
Butler
not
keeps saying
concerned.
it's time to lock in, but they're not locked in.
okay, I'm not concerned, and the reason I'm not concerned is because of Drew Holiday.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not concerned.
Drew Holiday, who was on the Bucks that got eliminated by the Heat in the first round last year,
I'm
and
not
got
concerned.
eliminated by the Heat a few years before that, and a few years before that, and a few years before that.
Yeah. I'm Drew Holiday is terrific on the defensive end. I'm not concerned about that.
That didn't
No.
help them last year though, in Milwaukee.
Okay. Again, I'm not concerned about it. You talking about last year. That's last year. I've moved on. See, in the NBA, you move on to the next game. I've moved on. You're still harping on last year. What's last year got to do with this year?
I hear you.
It's a new team. They play differently. It's a new group. You know, you got you got the unicorn. You got Drew Holiday. The coaching. He's got a year of experience under his belt.
He's got his staff around him.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm really
I like
interested in
it.
seeing? Is if DeMar DeRozan brings his daughter to the playing games again, because her screaming could have got the Bulls into the playoffs last year, but he didn't bring her to the second playing game. So that's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, the Bulls. I'm not concerned about it. The only team I'm concerned about for your Celtics is the Philadelphia 76ers.
Okay.
I'm concerned because and here's why. Nick Nurse, he's capable of experimenting. See, Nick Nurse got a and here's the thing, and as you know, I've been saying this forever. I'm excited to see Tyrese Maxey, what he's going to do now that he has the ball. He doesn't have to share the ball now. I'm excited to see what he's going to do. And I just think right now with this group, they could play a good brand of basketball. Kelly Oubre, Tobias Harris, those guys, they could come up.
Oh, Lowry's got the experience as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think they could come up. And then, you got Buddy Hield. They have some really good players over there that are very capable. So, if they can find some rhythm with any team, I think they're capable. I think they're capable of getting to the conference finals.
Let us know in the Discord server who you are confident in and what you're predicting for the NBA playoffs. And you can join it by hitting the link in the description of the show. BJ and I will be back tomorrow with more basketball talk for you. Make sure you subscribe, YouTube, Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcast from. And most importantly, until next time, you guys know the vibes. Get buckets.